Boneless pork chops get blamed for being dry. They're not dry, they're just misunderstood. Don't blame the pig. Today, we fix it. Can't brine anything if you don't have 4 beautiful boneless pork chops. I had my butcher take the fat off the ends here. You don't have to do that slitting so they don't curl. I mean, these things are thick. See how thick that is? Let's go. Besides the salt, all of this stuff is optional. But I have 4 beautiful garlic cloves. Yes, I'm saying beautiful a lot today. I don't know why. Smash them. And you know what? You don't have to peel them. Oh, man. That's why I love brines. I'm not going to peel anything. Put them aside. Handful of fresh rosemary. Can't beat it. You know, just give it a couple of hits. Doesn't even have to cut through. You just want to bruise it. I'm going to bruise my rosemary here. Brings the flavor out. I can smell it already. Put that aside. 1/4 cup of salt. 2 tablespoons dark brown sugar. 2 bay leaves. And the zest of 1 lemon. I have a nice bowl. All bowls are nice, but this is the real nice one. Cold water, folks. Give me about 4 cups. Enter all the stuff in no particular order. Stir it up. That's that song. Stir it up. When this stuff goes in, especially the salt, the flavor goes in, the moisture stays in. This is insurance. It's like cheap insurance. You skip this and you're gambling with dinner, folks. I mean, did you ever bite into a pork chop and you need a beverage immediately? This prevents that. Here they are. Get them in there. Cover it up, refrigerate it 1 hour. We'll be back. Okay, it's been about an hour. And these babies were in the fridge in that brine saying, okay, let's go. Next step, man. Even I'm getting hungry and I'm just a pork chop. And you got to really pat these things dry, folks. Because when there's water, there is steam. When there's steam, there's no crust. When there's no crust, there's no juicy. We want juicy and crust. My pan is heating up on the stove at a medium-high rate. And we want to salt and pepper these babies before you go over there. Little salt. Don't skimp, don't skimp. 1/4 teaspoon is fine per piece. And my pepper. I don't like to put a lot of stuff on my pork chops, you know, like spices and things like that. You could do that too. I want to eat some pork, man, you know? I'll go chug some cinnamon if I want that stuff. Let's bang that pepper into the meat and the salt. I use the back of my hand because the front of my hand, I still got to do things, you know? I don't want stuff all over them, that's all. No mystery. And we turn it over. And we repeat. Now I'm going to oil my pan with some olive oil because I like a little taste in the oil. But you can use vegetable, you know, something that has no real flavor that's going to come out and bang you in the head. And the pepper. And give it a swat with the back of your hand. Bad pork, bad pork, bad. I'll meet you at the stove. So even that little bit of time that I walked over to the stove with this stuff, I have moisture coming out still. So I'm going to flip these and make sure they are dry going into that oil. Very important, folks. And you can feel the heat on the pan. That's when it's time. Decent amount of oil. About a tablespoon should do it. And we're looking for that shimmer. That oil shimmers, you got a winner. Okay, it's time. Just want to get that coated and in. You hear that? Hands off, don't touch it. It's building character. You keep flipping it, it gets nervous, it leaves, and then you're eating cornflakes. Come on. In about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to check it. That's okay, you can check it after that, but don't do it now. We want the crust. Now carefully, wear a glove for this. Take a rolled up paper towel, and guess what? Get rid of that moisture because we're ready to flip. Make sure that's dry when it hits the pan. Very important, like the first side. That's why we bang this stuff into the pork, because it's not coming off on the paper now. This will give you crust like you wouldn't believe and moisture like a garden hose. Let's give it a check. Look at that. That is a crust. We're about 135, 136. Gonna go a little bit more. Take it out and let it rest. Good 10 minutes. The juices will redistribute and everything will be juicy. Not just the middle. Let's get it out. See, I'm gonna show you the other side, see? Crust. There you go. And like I said, you can't go much higher than that 145 degrees because it's going to keep cooking, get it up to maybe 150. But give it 5-10 minutes. But if you go over 150, you might as well just go into the tool shed and get some sawdust. You know, I mean, I know it's good with coconut milk, but still, it's sawdust. I will see you in 10 minutes. Nice and slow for the effect. Look at that, perfectly cooked. It's juicy. I mean, you could just feel it. Somebody get me a mop. Wow. So that's how you do it, folks. You brine, you sear, get to the temperature at 145, let it rest. Dry pork chops are not optional in your kitchen anymore.